Example 5.6 defines for us a function called f, and we're given the full function definition for f, and we're also given a full function definition for g. So when we say full function definition, that means that we are given a domain as well as the equations. So we have both of these things to be able to work with. Now, of course, we could figure out the domain by looking at the equation, but it's nice to have that work already done for us. And here's what we're supposed to do with these two functions. We are supposed to evaluate f composed with g of 2. So let me write that down. F composed with g of 2. So make sure that you're keeping track of function notation properly. Parentheses are some of the most used notation in all of mathematics, and the parentheses mean different things in different contexts. And too often do I see students interpret this as a multiplication by 2, and that's not what's happening here at all. The way that the definition says that we're supposed to interpret this is f of g of 2. So 2 is supposed to be a value from the domain of g. So I want to mimic this with an arrow map as we go through the process. So I'm going to start with a first set, and I'm going to be using a value of 2 from my first set. And I'm supposed to take that and I'm supposed to map it to something, and according to what I've written down, I'm supposed to only be using the g map. That's the first map that I'm supposed to use. So I've got to figure out what is 2 going to map to using the g function or the g map. So the equation is given to me, and the equation says 2 times x plus 1. So in this case, x is 2. So this is going to say 2 times 2 plus 1. So in other words, I would calculate 5. So 2 is going to map to 5. So that's the result from using g. But now I'm going to immediately use that result, and I'm going to apply it using the f map. So I want to see this value of 5 map to something else, and we're going to be using the f map for that. So according to the equation for f, it's supposed to be 5 plus 4, which gives me a grand total of 9. So that's ultimately what our answer is. We started with 2, and then eventually we're able to get to an answer of 9. So the composition, the way that we've done it here, required us to do it one step at a time. So 2 turns to 5, 5 turns into a 9, and that's how we get our final answer. But on the next example, I want you to keep this example handy, because on the next example, we're going to be dealing with the same two functions, and I'm going to show you how to go directly from 2 to 9, and then you can bypass the calculation of 5 altogether. So that's coming up on example 5.7.